Does your Mini Cooper vibrate when coming to a stoplight? Well, it's probably a bad engine mount. This is a 2019 Mini Cooper non-S, and that's what we're going to replace today. The engine's a big, heavy hunk of metal and plastic and rubber and all kinds of components. Well, it has to sit on something, and it has its own type of suspension. It's called the engine mounts. There's 3 of them on here. There's 2 on the top. There's one over here, and one at the very bottom. The one that goes bad, that causes the vibration, is this upper mount in here. You can't really see it, but we're gonna start taking things apart, and you'll see how it works here. And there's a few ways of doing this job here. There's a couple. You can take the headlight out and all this front end apart here and take it out that way, or you can try to sneak it out from the fender liner, and that's what we're going to try to do on this one here. All right, as you can see, I set up the engine brace here, and this is going to hold up the engine, so when I undo the mount, it's going to bear the load here. If you don't have anything like this at home, if you're doing this job at home, you can use a jack underneath with some padding to support the bottom of the engine. All right, so there's these 3 E-Torques we're going to remove here. 1, 2, 3, and there are a couple down below on the lower section of the mount. Let me see if I can zoom in down in here. Let me see. There it is. See that one there hiding? There's one there and one on the other side we're going to remove. All right, I'm going to start off with this E-Torques bolt on the frame here. It's an E14, so I got a swivel on here. All right, you can see the head of the bolt gets backed up against this plastic plating here, so I need a 8mm socket to remove these screws and give me some slack so I can pull the bolt the rest of the way out. And if you're wondering why we're taking this engine mount out this way, it's because we don't want to have to undo the AC system here or bend any of these lines. And also, removing these from the headlight here, they're kind of like one-time use only. They're hard to reuse because they have like this Loctite on them, and they get all messed up when we're removing them. And also, aligning the headlight isn't the easiest either with the hood here. All right, I was able to snake that bolt out there. So I'm going to remove this other E-Torques here that's holding a line. Can you see it there? Right there. All right, that one there is an E-Torques 10. Let's remove that real quick. All right, that little guy is out. There we go. Now for those top 3, which are E12s. Much everything is out here. The other screw that's way down in there, I'm gonna wait until I have the fender liner off to see if I have a better shot of getting that at that point, because it's in a tight spot right now. All right, we're gonna take this portion of the fender liner out here. There's a bunch of 8mm screws all over this thing, and then these are little pop rivets. You can reuse these. Just got to get a pop rivet tool, pull those off. Fender liner out, we can see everything that's going on in here. We have pretty good access. I can see the front of the engine. That's cool, the crank pulley. But our focus is this here, the engine mount. As you can see, this engine mount is blasted out. It is cracked, coming apart, oozed all of the hydraulic fluid out of it. It's no longer, look at it, it's completely cracked. Look at that. So we're gonna remove this thing. And now we can access that other bolt we weren't able to get to, which is on the back side right here. You can't see it, but you can get it. So right now I'm gonna start removing some of this harness stuff. I already started here. Here's the ground strap connection. Some of this stuff, just get it out of the way because it is gonna be tight, but we can get it out. We can just kind of start twisting it and kind of like a Jenga piece, get this thing out of here. All right, that bolt. All right, that bolt on the back here is a little harder than I thought to get to from here. So what I had to do is use an extension with a double swivel from the top down, but it is easier with the fender liner out because you can guide it onto the bolt. So this is what I used. You can get a single universal joint in there. I was able to. I mean, I have one of these available, so it was a little easier with this. So if you don't have one, you can make it work. All right. Well, I'm fighting getting this mount out. It's hitting the headlight. The last model I did, I wasn't having this problem, maybe because this is an S model. Anyway, it looks like I'm gonna have to remove the headlight or at least loosen it. The good thing is that it's still a pretty good trick going out this fender liner because you don't have to undo the AC lines. But still, I'm gonna have to remove the headlight and to gain access to this thing. Kind of a bummer. All right, I've been fighting for this thing for a little bit. It's hitting the headlight. The other model I worked on, I had quite a bit more room than this, so it must be a little bit different setup, but that's okay. We don't want to remove the headlight because, like I said, it requires quite a bit of adjustment. Also, you can damage those screws, which are supposed to be one-time use only. So what we're going to do is just remove two. This one right here, it's a non-adjustment screw. We're going to remove that one. It's a 10 millimeter. And the one up here, which I already removed, that'll give us room to just pull this back. We don't want to remove anything else. There's a couple other screws holding this on. We don't want to have to adjust this thing after or damage those screws. Make sure you lube this one. And all right, so that gave me quite a bit of room now to remove this thing, and it's on its way out. So this thing, there we go, perfect. All right, we have the old one against the new one here. It's pretty much just the same thing, either side. I was finding that this spike was kind of holding things up, and I did lower the engine as much